and welcome to All Access with State Theater New Jersey, the show that takes you behind the scenes and behind the curtain of the legendary State Theater in downtown New Brunswick. My name is Kelly Blythe, and I'm your host. Today, our special guest is one of the stars of Celtic Woman, who will be returning to the State Theater with a new era tour on Friday, March 6th. Let's welcome Muireann O'Mahony.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you, Muireann, for being on today. We're so excited. Celtic Woman has been a staple of the State Theater New Jersey programming for many, many years, and we're so excited to bring the New Era Tour back and you back to the State Theater. Now, tell us that the New Era Tour marks 21 years of Celtic Woman. Can you talk about the importance of this tour and the 21-year mark?
Yes, for sure. Well, first of all, let me say it is such a pleasure for us to be returning to New Jersey. It's an absolute favourite of ours to come by, and it's just we're so looking forward to it. And the 21 years exactly that, and I think it's a testament to the fan base that Celtic Woman has established over the years, and we're just so thankful to still be creating music and sharing Irish culture 21 years on. And the show has seen so many different iterations of itself throughout the years, but I suppose the one thing that kind of has stayed true or true during that time is connection, and we have a fantastic connection to so many people in the States, and people feel that same connection to Ireland, even though it's such a small country. But I feel like the live performance really just allows people a couple of hours of kind of that feeling of connecting to, I suppose, ancestors as well, who and people who might not be any longer with us. So we're so delighted to still have that kind of that cornerstone stay true today.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on. I think this is a show that generations have gone to, right? We have the grandparents, the parents, the kids, and experiencing. As you said, the show has been gone through different iterations, different tours, and there's always something new to see, and it makes it very exciting. And experiencing that with your friends and your family, I think, is really like the special thing that it is. Is it's just super special to be able to see something that you saw, like I said, 21 years ago, right? And then bring your family to it and experience
Absolutely.
that.
Yes, absolutely. And we've actually had that very experience of people come to the show, bring their kids, and now are saying to us, we were brought to the show when we were kids, and we're just wanting to give that same experience to our children now, which is really, really special. And for our 20th year anniversary, we filmed a special in the Helix in Dublin, which was where the original PBS special was filmed. And I suppose the current lineup, some of the current lineup got to share the stage with some of the founding members of Celtic Woman. So that to be part of that lineage is not something that we take for granted, especially as female vocalists in Ireland. Celtic Woman is something that we would have always aspired to and have known about ourselves as children. So it's something that it kind of goes deeper than the show itself. And just today, there's so much kind of history behind it that, as you say, people coming to the show get to experience, and there really and truly have been people coming to the show since the day it started. So to have that kind of support and that loyalty is just it's unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Yeah, I mean, and this tour is 45 cities in North America, which is crazy to me. It sounds crazy, and it's so exciting. Like, I'm guessing you like to tour, so tell us about that. Like, how do you? I can't even wrap my head around it, honestly. Like, that's quite an undertaking.
Yes, for sure. And you know what? Like, it is one of those things that you really do. It's something that you need to love. And I say that to anyone kind of embarking on this career, not only just kind of the touring aspect, but it really is something that you have to love. And we do absolutely love it. I personally love getting to see parts of the world that I probably never would get to see if I weren't touring. So there are absolute, so the positives completely outweigh the negatives. But sure, there are aspects to it. You're away from family, you're away from friends, you're tired a lot of, like, with the travel and everything like that in between. But once we kind of step on that stage, all of that genuinely falls away, and I'm not just saying that. It's a privilege to be able to do it and to be coming to audiences that want to see us, and we are very fortunate to be in that position. You know, in this economy, it's not an easy thing to be a touring show in this economy. So we are so grateful that people are coming out to see us and supporting us. And yeah, I personally love touring. It's one of those things that I think, like you said, it can be a hard one to wrap your head around, but we're just kind of used to it now as well, and we've a great team of people on the road, and everyone looks after each other, and they really do become your family on the road, and that is something that is vital in this kind of environment. You know, you really are living in each other's pockets as you're on the road. So to kind of be that support network for each other is so important, and is as important, I would say, as, you know, the music and the performing aspect of things. It's you know, being each other's family on the road is so vital.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I mean, people really do need like a positive, thing to look forward to. And now that now that you're saying it like that, I think each city, right, is going to have that. You're going to get that pop of, that burst of positivity coming, for each city. They're so excited to see you. So I can see the excitement that, would help you move you through all 45 cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And everywhere really is so different, and you can, you know, for us as well, to kind of get to experience each kind of individual place. Everywhere is so unique, and even the audiences, you can tell the different energy from different places that we go to, and that's always something that keeps the show feeling really fresh, and we feed so much off of the energy of the audience. So yeah, as you say, it's something to look forward to each night.
Yeah, and well, I can tell you, New Jersey, we're loud.
Yes,
We're
that's what
loud
I'm
and we're
saying. I'm
very
like,
supportive.
it's a party. It's a party every time you come through. Genuinely, I'm always like looking forward to the stuff, because I'm like, they're gonna show us a good time.
Now, was music always in the cards for you? Like, I know that you went to school and you grew up doing music, but like, was that always just what the area that you wanted to be in and go towards?
You know what? I think so. I don't think it was ever. I'm not someone. This is. I would sometimes hold my hand up and say this is a little bit of a flaw of mine, but I don't often look too far into the future at any given moment. But I think as a child and growing up, I was always involved in music and obsessed with music, and I had, you know, amazing support from my family to, you know, go and learn instruments and take part in kind of theatre productions as a teenager and things like that. And I suppose my interest never deviated anywhere else. So it kind of just felt like, it never really felt like a decision. It just was kind of like the way it just was meant to be as
Hmm.
such. I'm sure there probably were moments where I was at a crossroads along the way, but for me, it always just felt like it was just the right thing for me, and I felt always just like, yeah, it felt like, not to sound cliche, but it very much like felt like my destiny. And
Yeah.
I have to say, I had a lot of people along the way, teachers and mentors, and as I say, my family and the support of them and friends, and Ireland is such a collaborative place that, you know, the feeling of creating and the feeling of working together to make something, to make some art, or to make, you know, just a special experience, I suppose was just something that really led me to where I am today, and I'm so thankful for the opportunities that I have been granted, as I say, from so many amazing people along the way. And yes, it's certainly not an easy path, and I definitely had people tell me that, and I'm, you know, when I'm teaching myself and kids that I have who are like really wanting to do, you know, musical theatre or classical, or go down the road of pop, absolutely, I want people to follow their dreams, and you know, I would be pushing that till the day I die. But also to know that the realities of it is that, you know, oftentimes it's quite a precarious lifestyle. You know, you will miss family events and friend events, and it's hard when you're a teenager, when you don't think of these things, when you're like, no, I don't care. But, you know, eventually people will, you know, you might miss friends' weddings or things like that. But which is why I said at the very beginning, you need to absolutely love it. And I, hand on heart, can tell you that I absolutely love it, and it just makes it so worth it to be able to do it, um, you know, professionally for
Yeah.
myself anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, and yeah, you're right. And that network of friends and family to have is so very important. You said instrumental, like instruments plural. So, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting to me. So what instruments do
Yeah.
you play?
So I actually, up until I was about 16, I was predominantly a classical flute player. So I would have played in orchestras and things in Ireland, and that was very much my in to music. I loved singing. I never really thought that. I suppose at the time they weren't really offering training for vocalists below the age of kind of 16, 17. And even then, it was predominantly kind of like university students that would go on to train their voices in Ireland. So I suppose my into music was always through instrumental playing. I started off playing the violin as a young child. I then took up the flute. I was playing piano. I was playing drums for a while, and I was just as obsessed with music, and that's what I say. Like it just felt very much kind of like a my destiny in some ways, but it's just because I was completely immersed in it. Now I will say I started violin, and I was personally I don't think I was very good at it. But then once I started the flute, I almost like surpassed myself. Even though I'd been at the violin for about 5 years at that point, but which is I often say to people, I think instruments are suited different instruments are suited to different people, and I really feel like the classical flute was my my where I found my kind of home in music. And so then I didn't actually start singing probably properly until I was about 16 in school. I would have been in choirs and things like that, and I enjoyed that. But in terms of singing as a soloist, I, took part in a school musical, and then I was like, oh, this is different. So then when I went to actually study in university, I had a conductor at the time who I would have thought would have said to me, continue with flute and go down that road. And I kind of had said to him, I was like, oh, I think I might have a look at, training my voice. And he was, at this point, I had done my teaching diploma in flute. And he was like, you have that, kind of covered. So he was like, why not diversify? And I think that was really a brilliant piece of advice to give a young person, because I go back to kids that I'm training at the moment, and I say to people, anyone who wants to be in the world of music or the arts, the best thing you can do is diversify yourself and make yourself, as employable and as kind of adaptable to so many different situations. And you that's the beauty of working in this line of work, is that no kind of 2 days are ever really the same.
Hmm.
So yeah, I suppose at that age I kind of decided, I have this one aspect of music, and why not expand into this other world? And honestly, I have never looked back.
Well, I think you are this sounds like you're a perfect fit for Celtic Woman. You're a perfect fit. I mean, this is what
Oh, thank
yeah.
you.
So that's just lovely. I thank you so much for being on the show. And I have one more question for you. For those who have not seen the show, what would you say to them to give it a shot?
Absolutely. Do you know what? I know I mentioned earlier about how it's a chance for people to connect back to their heritage, but this show really is all encompassing, and there's something in it for everyone. And I really say that it's something anyone who enjoys dance. There's Irish dancing. There's instrumentation that you might not be familiar with of Irish culture. And just it really is there is something there for everyone. It's kind of a feast for the eyes and the ears, as I say. And I would encourage people to come along and delve into Irish culture. People who might not be familiar with it, or those who have loads of experience with it. It's just kind of a new twist on what people might consider to be Irish. And as I say, it's a chance for people to kind of connect and experience live music. And yeah, we're just so looking forward to it, and we're so thankful for the support so far, and from you guys especially. We're so looking forward to coming out to see you.
Hey, well, thank you so much for being on the show, and we look forward to seeing you on March 6th.
Amazing, Kelly. We'll see you then. Thank you so
Right.
much for having me.
Thank you.